Friction. Why friction happens? What is friction? Let's come up with the simplest way of defining it. Friction is a force that opposes motion. Since it opposes motion, it has to act in the direction opposite to the motion. So, is friction a good or a bad thing? The answer to this question is depends. Depends on what? On whether you want the motion to continue or to stop. If you want the motion to keep going on, then friction is a bad thing. If you want motion to stop, then friction is a good thing. Worry not. We will be exploring this further in this lesson. And it's quite easy and interesting too. Look at this ball, just sitting there still on the ground. Is there any friction acting on the ball? No. If there is no motion, there is no force of friction. When you set the ball in motion on a flat surface, it rolls ahead for some time and then slows down and comes to a stop. You have seen this happening ever since you were a little baby, and so you are used to seeing this happen. But now, as a science student, you can wonder why? Why did the ball stop? You had set it in motion, it should have just kept going ahead. So, what made it stop? And the answer is friction. The force of friction started acting on the ball once it started moving. Friction between the ball and the ground is what made the ball stop. Right from kindergarten, you have learnt about smooth and rough surfaces. You know that you can slide better on a surface that is smooth. It means on a smooth surface, the friction is lesser. What does that mean? What do we mean by a smooth and a rough surface? Look at this shiny tabletop. Is the surface rough or smooth? It is smooth. Look at this carpet. Is the surface rough or smooth? It is rough. You are looking at it with your eyes. Even a surface that seems smooth will still have some bumps. The object that slides on this surface also has bumps like this. These bumps lock into each other and you have to push harder to make them unlock. In science language, we say that we have to apply a force to overcome friction. Now these bumps are greater in number on a rough surface and smaller in number on a smooth surface. So, we have more friction on a rough surface. This is basically what friction is all about. Now that you know how friction works at a micro level, you can easily understand what is actually going in different scenarios. What happens if the object that you're moving presses down harder? Then the interlocking will be stronger, so you will need more force to push it. That is why it's harder to pull a chair with a person sitting on it rather than an empty chair. What is easier, pushing a box across a polished floor or a carpeted floor? You know, a polished floor. Because the bumps are lesser, interlocking is lesser and therefore force needed is lesser. So, it is easier. What did we just learn? Friction opposes the relative motion between two surfaces in contact. It acts on both the surfaces. Friction depends on the nature of surfaces in contact. For a given pair of surfaces, friction depends upon the state of smoothness of those surfaces. Friction depends on how hard the two surfaces press together.